Good afternoon, it is Saturday the 17th of May. It's just come up to 1 o'clock. I was aiming to get out a little bit earlier, but the private job I had last night, or early hours should I say, was actually delayed. It was a bit of a pain because I always track them to make sure everything's fine. I tracked before I set off from my house because it's almost an hour to get to the airport, but slightly less because obviously it was about midnight, and it said everything was all fine. And then I got to where I park up near the airport, go on charge, checked again, and then it said it had been delayed by 50 minutes. How could it have been delayed when it said that the flight had already taken off on time? So basically, yeah, it ended up being delayed by about 40 minutes. So it was a bit of a pain. I was supposed to be picking them up about 10 past midnight, so I was thinking by the time I get them, drop them off in Southport just after 1, I should be home for about 1:30. I didn't end up picking them up until, I think it was about, what time was it? Gone 1 o'clock. Let me just see, because he sent me a message. Just wait for, yeah, so I picked them up at about 1:15. So I was about an hour behind what I was thinking. So by the time I dropped them off, the second drop, it was 2:30. So I got home just before 3 o'clock. By the time you wind down and get in bed, and that's about 4. So yeah. A little bit of a lie-in this morning, got up about, I think I woke up about 10:30 or something. But yeah, obviously just seeing the missus, the kids and that, they've gone out. Bit of a barbecue party, whatnot. So yeah, just turned 1 o'clock, I'm just about to head off out now, so I'll see what it's like. Normally, it's decent on a Saturday, but time will tell, so I'll catch up with you. So a little update, just coming up to 3 o'clock. And Uber are just managing to piss me off once again. So I set off, a couple of minutes later a job pops up. It was from Bearscough to Liverpool city centre, actually the Lime Street train station. So as you know, I don't do long jobs for Uber. It's very rare I do them because they take too much commission. I've done some in the past where it's been like 80 quid and it's taken me like 30-40 minutes to do. I've done one, I think it was last week, it was shy of an hour, but it took me like 90, it paid £90 going to the airport. So because it was 1 o'clock, I thought it's going to be a bit quiet. I was offered a job, it was like £49 and some change, an XL job going Bearscough to the train station. So I thought, worst case scenario, I go there and back, £25 an hour. You know, it's quiet, so I thought, right, okay, I'll do it. So I accepted that, picked them up, group of 5, took them down, dropped them off, and as I was dropping them off, I then got kind of like a rematch, an XL job, from the train station, just going round the corner. So the first job took me 53 minutes, it was 17 miles. I then done another XL job, group of 5 girls, it was paying £8.88, a 10-minute job going 1.9 miles, so we just dropped them off around here, and that was half an hour ago. And then as I clicked on it, I thought, oh, so I'm going to be on roughly 60 quid now, and it's at that point it'd been like an hour and 20 minutes thereabout. Let's see, 50, yeah, an hour and 15. And then it loads up at the top and it was saying 52 quid. I was thinking, 52 quid, that doesn't seem right. So I pulled over and clicked on it. For that first XL job, where they offered me £49 something, they've paid me £43.46. And I was like, you're having a laugh, like the only reason I'd done it was because it was almost 50 quid. Sometimes I'll do XL jobs from like Southport to Liverpool because they're paying like 50 or 60 pound. Loads of them come up for like 20-25 quid and I ignore them. A reservation one just popped up there going from Southport back to Liverpool at 4 o'clock, £24. Obviously I'm not going to do that because it's crap. So I phoned Uber up and explained it to him, and he was like, one of the very first things out of his mouth was, oh, have you got any proof? I said, yeah. I said, the proof is, I wouldn't waste my time driving all the way to Liverpool for 43 quid. I said, as soon as the job's popped up, I've said to myself, oh, that's not too bad because there and back, £25 an hour. I said, so I wouldn't have said to myself, oh, there and back is £21.50 an hour. I said, because I wouldn't have accepted the job for £43. So he has a little look up at the card. He said, well, I'm looking at the card that's sent out to you, and that's saying £43.46, and that's what you've been paid. I said, that's a lie. And he was like, oh, I understand your frustration, he said, but have you got any proof, like a screenshot or something? And I said, what, so we're supposed to be taking screenshots of all of our jobs now? I said, you already moan at the drivers if we touch our phone to accept jobs because it's dangerous, which I agree. I said, but now what you're saying is you want me to be taking screenshots of every job to then make sure that Uber aren't stealing from the drivers even more. I said, because you're already having our pants down on the commission, and now you're having me pants down because you've basically taken another 10% of the job. And he's like, oh yeah, so I mean, without like a screenshot or something, he said, there's nothing I can do. Fucking, I felt like punching him down the phone. So I've been trying to get onto my dash cam, because obviously it records 360 degrees, to see if it can see the screen on my phone for when the job, because it's recorded like the last 90 minutes. So I've been trying to do that for about 20 minutes, but it's just loading dead slow. I think it's because the sun's bouncing off it, so it's kind of overheating. The sun's bouncing off my phone because that's on the dashboard. Even that's popped up to say the charging has been suspended because it's overheating. So I've saved the file, and then hopefully later when it's on the laptop, I might be able to, like I said, because it records 360 degrees, I might be able to basically look at the phone to see if I can zoom in. But I don't know if I'm going to get it on the angle, because it's quite flat. There's only like a slight little turn towards the camera. Yeah, so basically start taking screenshots of your jobs, because it's I've heard people say it in the past. It's the first time. Well, it's the first time I've kind of noticed it. Granted, there might have been jobs where smaller ones, £7 or £8, they might skim a little bit off the top that you don't really notice. But when it pops up at like a £50 job, and then they're taking like another 10%, you can blatantly see it. And then their first thing, it was almost like they know that's what they do, because the first words out of his mouth is, have you got any proof? Because they know that drivers aren't going to be sitting there taking screenshots of every single job. So what I'm going to do now for the rest of the shift, I'm going to be taking screenshots of every job that I accept, and then comparing that to basically what I've been paid, which is a pain. You shouldn't have to be doing it, but I've blatantly just proved that Uber have basically just stole about £7 off that job. Fucking honestly, I'm so fucking pissed off with them, and they wonder. And then, funny enough, it's as though like they do it on purpose. And then another one of them surveys comes through saying, how are you feeling about your driving experience with Uber? Fucking went on there, negative, big comments. I said, you're a bunch of fucking thieves. You've just stolen another 10% off my job. Fucking wind up, honest to God. I hate working for Uber, because they just, if they're not rinsing you on the commission, they treat you like an arsehole, and then they steal money from you, and then deny it, and they're like, well, have you got any proof? Absolute wind up. So yeah, basically take screenshots of your jobs, especially if a decent job comes up. If it's, you know, like 50 quid or something, take a screenshot of it, because they will have your pants down on it. So I've basically wasted time. I've wasted about 30 or 40 minutes on the phone to Uber, and then trying to get the screenshot off me dash cam, so I could phone them back up and carry on moaning. But looks like I'll have to do that later. So I'm 2 hours in now, and I'm only on £52.34, thanks to Uber. But yeah, if it would have been going smoothly, and I would have got that 50 quid that they would have paid me plus the other 8, I would have done 58 quid in the first hour and 15. But basically, because they've had me pants down and they've stole money off me, I done £52.34 in the first hour and 15, which was quite good. But it should have been more. But it is what it is, and this is what happens. Uber are just thieves, basically. So yeah, that's why basically, like Monday to Friday, I don't do any Uber now. I just come out and do Saturday and Sunday. Sorry, Friday and Saturday. Obviously when the prices are a bit better, but even Fridays have gone crap now, so it's only kind of Saturdays that I'm doing. I come out on a Saturday, and now the little money you do make, they now rob off you as well. Fucking hell. Honest to God, absolute fucking bunch of thieves. So yeah, I'll update you in a bit. Hopefully I've cheered up a little bit. So it's just turned 4 o'clock. I'm over in Formby. It's been roughly an hour, and I've done nothing. So I drove down here, thought I was passing Formby, I'll stop at this garage, quickly throw it on charge. I didn't need to go on charge, it was just a quick top up while I used my phone, went in, had a quick wee, But yeah, it was just an update to say that I've done nothing. I've been offered, I set my destination as like Banks, so basically it was like a good hour or so the app thought, you know, for me to drive out of Liverpool all the way past Formby and everything, all the way through Southport. And in that time, which to be fair has probably been about 45 minutes because I've been here about 10 or 15 minutes, it gave me, or it offered me one job, and that was, it wanted me to go 15 miles into Southport or 7.5 miles away to do a 6-minute job or 1.3 miles. So in total you were looking at about best part of a 25-minute job or 9 miles for £6.14. That was the only job it offered me, all the way from Liverpool. It's ridiculous. So as I pulled in here, I just logged off. I thought, wasting my time here. That was all there, so I'm just about to go back online. Hopefully things improve a little bit. So it's just turned 6 o'clock and I've just got home. I might be coming back out, I'm not sure to be honest, it's so crap out. So the last update was 4 o'clock, I was in Formby. I pulled off from the garage and a job come up which was Formby going towards Southport. It wasn't the best paying job, it was £11 3 pence, 22 minutes going 9.3 miles. And the job just seemed to take forever, so it was basically the road that was behind the petrol station. So I went round there, waited a couple of minutes, another Uber pulled up, a couple of women come out, and then she was like, oh, how many can we fit in here? I said 4 because you've booked an X. All right, okay. So the first 2 get in. Oh, we're just waiting for such and such, and then some more come out, and she's like, oh yeah, look what's turned up, and then she's shouting over to her mate, yeah, we'll get loads in here, and I'm like, you won't, there's only 4. So in the end, 2 stay in the back, the others get in the other Uber, that leaves, and she was like, oh yeah, we're just waiting for 1 more to come out. And I sat there for like 2 or 3 minutes, and I'm like, I'd started the journey because I thought everyone was in. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to go, you know. So she was like, oh, we're just waiting for the birthday girl. I'll go in and find out. She goes in, comes back out like another 2 minutes later. Oh yeah, she's in there with one of the other girls. They're gonna jump another Uber. I'm thinking, so together there was like what, 4, 5, 6, 7, there was 8 of them. They've booked 3 Ubers. So I dropped them off, that was painful. So then I was in Southport, that was about 25 past 4. An XL that cancelled. So then I waited for about 20 minutes for another job after that, and that was £6.24, an 11-minute job going 3.6 miles. So I dropped them off, and then it was like 5 to 5. So in that hour I'd done them 2 jobs, which was like £17.27. I then sat there for best part of an hour. I moved around a couple of different places, and the jobs that were coming through were just, it was ridiculous, honestly. It was like £3.50, 3 miles, a £4 job. They were just all real. It honestly felt like I'd gone out in the dead hours of a weekday, and I'm thinking like, who's doing these jobs? What kind of loser have you got to be going round and just picking up all these little scummy jobs? Because the thing is that they weren't like little short ones. I've done lots of like little, you know, £3.50, £4 jobs, but that's because they're right next to me and they're going like half a mile because someone's come out of a bar and they just can't be bothered walking down because like they've got heels on or something. So you think, well, that's great because that's like £3.50 and it's took me a minute to do the job. These jobs were coming up, they were like 15-20 minutes, and I'm thinking, so if you've done like 3 of them back to back, you're going to be on about a tenner for the hour. It's like, what's the point? It's ridiculous. So I couldn't be faffed. I'm sure I took some screenshots of some. So like, here's one that popped up, an XL job. It was 20 minutes away. They wanted me to drive all the way back to Formby, which was 7.5 miles away, to then drive 11 minutes to Waynesdale, which was another just shy of 5 miles. So all in, it's coming up on here 29 minutes plus obviously you got your pick-up time because it's an XL, so basically you're looking at almost 35 minutes, and it was offering you 13 quid, and that's an XL job. So I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then another one popped up, 21 minutes away, and it was a 7-minute job, an XL, so add on some more time, so you're looking at easy a half-an-hour job, 10.5 miles to get there for a 1.5 mile job. So they wanted me to go back to Ormskirk, so all in you're looking at half-an-hour job for roughly 12 miles, and they were offering me £7.52. It's like, why would you come out and work for half an hour on a Saturday evening for £7.50 for half an hour? So obviously I didn't do that. Is this the same job or is that a different one? Oh yeah, so then I was driving. I got a little bit closer because I was kind of heading back to mine, and then the same job popped up and he must have thought, oh, I know, £7.52 wasn't enough for Paul, let's try and entice him in, let's offer him the same job, but this time we'll up it. So they upped it from £7.52 to £7.86 thinking like I was gonna bite their hand off because they've offered me another 34 pence. It was at that point I logged off because I thought, you can stick it up your arse, you're wasting the battery on my phone with that crap. So yeah, it's so crap, I honestly can't be bothered. What I thought I was going to do, I'll come back, because I downloaded the app, is it that Mystro? If you don't watch the Rideshare Buddy UK, he does loads of really like in-depth videos of you know, different bits and bobs and charging points and whatnot, and he's been doing a couple on this Mystro app. I'm sure most people know what it is, but if you don't, you basically use that app in the background, and all of that should be integrated within Uber, and you're able to say like, don't send me jobs that are less than a fiver, don't send me jobs that are more than 5 miles away, only send me jobs that are going to basically enable me to make £20 an hour, £25 an hour, or £30 an hour, whatever. So it has filters, which, to be honest, like I said, I was going to come back now and set it up, and then I might try it, because probably 90% of what annoys me working for Uber is the amount of stupidity that comes through, and it just annoys you. So I know the jobs will still come through, but that Mystro automatically just gets rid of them for you, so you don't have this constant pinging of, oh, do you want this little £3.50 job? No, I don't. Oh, do you want this little £4 job? No, I don't. Do you want it? No. Oh, okay, we're going to have to log you off because you're not accepting these shite jobs. And it's like, you do me head in, and to me it frustrates me because it just winds me up. It's just constant crap job after crap job. So I thought, I'll try downloading this, because you know, I've watched a couple of his videos that he's done now, and I know it's obviously some trial and error, different settings, what works best for you and whatnot. But yeah, I feel as though that would cut out some of the frustration. Now I know some people might say, yeah, but it might get rid of jobs that you could have took, which might reduce your hourly rate and stuff like that. It might do, yeah, but to be honest, like I said, the number one thing that winds me up with Uber is the stupid jobs that come through, like them ones I was talking about then, £7.50 for half an hour. So if you have the filters turned on that basically says, I want to earn at least £25 an hour, then those jobs will automatically be declined, because I only decline them anyway, I'm not going to do it. So instead of winding me up, let an app do that for you. So you know, it makes sense, and honestly I don't know why Uber haven't integrated that in. Maybe that's something they might do in the future, but I very much doubt it, to be honest. I feel like Uber's put me on the naughty step, because the first thing this morning, which I forgot to mention, I'd already had a moan at them for, as soon as I logged on, they said, oh yeah, we've introduced a new dashboard now. So I think it's always been there, but they're like highlighting it more to drivers now. So basically, if you do any harsh braking, or if you speed, it highlights it. Now again, Uber say, this doesn't affect your score, or it doesn't affect this or that. However, we're highlighting it to you, so it might be a better journey for the passengers. And I'm thinking, well, I've got 4.99 stars, so that itself says that the passengers are enjoying the time with me. What I don't need is basically someone saying, I feel like you've braked a little bit hard there, or you've accelerated a bit too fast. So I clicked on it. I don't even know how you find it on the app. It was only because the notification that they sent in the app, it said, if you want to view it, click here. So I clicked here, and it come up and it said, last Friday on Duke Street in Southport, it said speeding. Now it doesn't tell you what time, it doesn't tell you the speed you were doing, it just says red. I had like one report, you were speeding. It's like, no I wasn't, you're talking out your ass, because everywhere I go is cruise control. As soon as I pull off, I'll accelerate, get it to speed, 25, 30, 40, whatever the speed limit is, and that's what it's on. There's even times where like you can feel the customer's eyeballs burning into the back of your head, because they must be thinking, fucking hell, why is he only doing 30 mile an hour? Because they're so used to just speeding themselves, or they're used to other drivers, especially Southport drivers, who it's like the Dakar rally. They just fucking fly everywhere because they think, I need to get back to Lord Street to make that other £3.50 job. Yeah, and that I just know that I wouldn't have been speeding. So I messaged them on there and I said, like, what's all this about? You said I was speeding. Send me over some proof, please. Let me know how fast I was going and send me over some of the data. And they come back and they said, oh yeah, we're not able to provide you with that data. You can disable this function if you want. This is basically just something that we offer, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, don't be giving me a copy-paste message. I said, you've flagged it up and it's marked in red and one report for speeding. I said, I haven't been speeding. I said, so you're fabricating stuff saying that drivers are speeding. I said, so once again, you're finding another way to annoy drivers. So that kind of went back and forth. Again, I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere because it's Uber, they don't care. But it's just annoying when someone's saying you're speeding and you know full well that you haven't been speeding. So yeah, I feel as though I feel like they've got like a button they press to say, do you know what, penalise him for half an hour because he's doing me head in. There's loads of drivers that say the exact same thing. If you complain to Uber about something, you seem then to not get any jobs. It might be for like half an hour or an hour, like they've put you on the naughty step. Or if you have a couple of good jobs back to back, then all of a sudden it just goes quiet for like 45 minutes, even though all the other Uber drivers are all flying past you. So yeah, I think that in combination with obviously moaning about about them having me pants down, offering me one price and then reducing it by like another 10%. Yeah, I think it was just a combination. One other thing I forgot to mention about that job before this morning, that the £50 one, I was near the way my setup is. I got my phone, which obviously has the Uber maps on, and then when I start a journey I put navigate using Google Maps, which then comes up on the display in the car. So I've got both maps open. So I was heading towards Liverpool. I was near Aintree Retail Park. So both the sat navs have both got the exact same destination. They're going the same route and everything. Now the Uber Maps, I was like, what's up with this? It was saying you'll arrive at Lime Street in 8 minutes. And I'm thinking, no I won't. And you look across at Google Maps and it's saying you'll arrive there in 21 minutes, which I'm thinking, that's more plausible. I still think it's going to be a little bit more than 21, give or take with traffic, but that's probably nearer the figure. But Uber is thinking, oh no, you're going to get there in 8 minutes. Even if there was no other cars there whatsoever, let's say it was like, 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning or something, you would struggle to get there in 8 minutes, sticking to the speed limits because of the amount of traffic lights. So it's like, I don't know if they thought it was like Uber helicopter or something. But yeah, it just goes to show that there's obviously issues with the system, because one, they've lowballed me. I don't know if that figure that flashed up was the figure that they had paid, because I remember when they got in the back, I'm sure the husband had said to her something like, oh yeah, I've paid 50 quid or something. And then I remember thinking like, well, if he's paid 50 quid, I've been paid 50 quid. So does that mean Uber haven't taken much commission on this job? So to me, it's as though that £49 something is what the customer has paid. And then I've then been paid the 43, which means that Uber have obviously been paid, taking like £7.50 commission. But again, because Uber's Uber, they haven't told me that. Now, Uber could have turned around and said, you know what, Paul, you said you were supposed to get £49 something for that job. That's a bit strange because that's what we got paid, and then after the deductions you got your 43. But he was just saying to me, oh no, I've just looked at your job card and it says the price sent out to you was £43 something, and that's what you've been paid. And I was like, it wasn't, it was £49 something. So yeah, I think it's just a combination of them things. It's just crap. But I don't know why it'd be so crap, because all the past Saturdays have always been busy, and that's the only reason I've come out today, because when I come out, granted, you know, I do long shifts on a Saturday, I can do 12, 14 hours, whatever, but I'll always get like 350, something like that, you know. And I've been out now for, I forgot to give you the total, didn't I? So I've done 5 hours, bearing in mind half of that was on the phone to Uber, another 15 minutes I did stop for a little top up and, you know, to go for a weigh in there. So technically it's closer to 4, but if you look at it over the 5, I'm only on £69.61. So that's working out over the 5 hours of £13.92. So even if I do it over technically like the 4, which is a bit closer to what I've made, that's a bit better. It's £17.40. But it depends how you look at it, isn't it? At the end of the day, I started my shift at 1 o'clock and I got back home at 6. So I have been out for that time. But then I was logged off, obviously, when I was on the phone to Uber. So yeah, you can kind of look at it whichever way you want to look at. But either way, it's extremely crap for a Saturday. Yeah, to have made that in 5 hours, you know, it's like 70 quid. And like I said, to compare that with like other Saturdays where I've been out for like 14 hours, granted maybe an hour or two would have been charging, so I've done like a 12-hour shift. By that point, up to this point now, I should have been on like 150. So I'm on like half of what I've been making for the past couple of Saturdays, you know. And it's the same month, it's the same day, it's the same area, same car, same rating, same everything. So why is it halved? God knows. But then on top of that, it's got like the guy who I collected yesterday from the airport, he's messaged because he was telling me that he was supposed to be picking his son up from the airport tomorrow morning. Sorry, taking him to the airport at 5 o'clock in the morning. And he was like, because he was asking me, because I picked him up from Terminal 3, so he was asking, oh, how do I get in here? Because this is where I'm dropping my son off and stuff. So I was telling him where to get, you know, the little token and to keep hold of it and all that. But so he messaged before. He was like, oh, I know it's a bit late, he said, but am I okay to book you to take my son and his girlfriend to the airport in the morning? He said, because I can't be bothered doing it. So I was like, yes, I just go on the website and book it. That's all live and everything now. So he's got on, he's booked that. So I'm taking his son and his girlfriend to the airport in the morning. So to put it into context, just to go and take them to the airport in the morning, even if you include the time for me to get to them, take them and get back home, you're looking at about 2 hours. I've made more in that 2 hours than I've made doing 5 hours for Uber. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I'm sat here waiting for jobs to come through and I'm thinking like, what's the point? It's just like, it's painful. It's so painful. So like I said, I'll go in now, I'll have a little mess around with this app. I keep forgetting the name of it. Mystro. And then if I can be bothered, I might come back out and try it for like an hour or two, gauge it off that, see if things improve a bit. Or I might just think, you can stick it. And I'll just stay in, because like I said, I'm going to be getting up now for about 4 o'clock in the morning to go and do this private job. So yeah, sounds like this whole shift has been a bit of a rant and a bit of a moan, but it's just yeah, it just goes to show how much Uber can annoy you. It just seems to be one thing after another. They're just constantly nitpicking and doing this and doing that, and you're sitting there thinking like, why bother? Like, one of the reasons I started doing Uber, because I thought, oh, it's all nice and easy, it's on an app, you know, everything just all comes through, flows nice and well, log on and off whenever you want, which is true. But then over the past like 10 months or so of doing Uber, there just seems to be a hell of a lot more negatives than there are positives for actually working for Uber. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to give this app a little whirl, see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know what the future's going to hold for me and Uber. I just can't be bothered with them, honestly. They just rattle my cage up the wrong way. So yeah, that's about it. I might see you in a bit, or I might not. It depends. So, little update. I came back out at about 7:30. Yeah, pretty much because I wanted to try out the that Mystro app. So a little bit of trial and error. Yeah, I'm still messing with it, trying to figure it out. To be honest, I had things like on auto reject anything less than £5, pick up distance anything further than 5 miles away, reject. Uber rating anything less than 4, reject. And then I was basically tweaking with the hours of anything less than like £30 an hour to reject it. And that's not like a job for £30 an hour. The jobs pop up and it might be like a £7 job. It's going to take you 6 minutes. So it multiplies that and basically says this job would give you like £60 an hour. But we all know you're not going to get a £7 job, a £7 job, £7 job, £7 job and get you to 60 quid. But that's basically how it calculates it. But then, like I said, because I'd set me the pickup point as no more than 5 miles away, it still kind of wasn't working, or it was me not knowing how to use the app. I'm not too sure. Some jobs were coming up. You see, that was like I was near Southport. I was being offered jobs 7.7 miles away towards Liverpool, and then another one came up. XL job, 20 minutes away, or 8.3 miles in Skem. That was a bit of a poo job all around, that one. It was a 10-minute job as well, so half an hour job, and it was going about 12 miles, £9.30. But yeah, where was I? I came out at 7:30. First job straight away, customer cancelled, and then there was one just round the corner. Bearsco going into Ormskirk, £10.71, 13-minute job going 4.9 miles. And then had an XL, which was kind of the outs. Going towards them. It's bloody light. No, it was like an Ormskirk to Ormskirk. £14.89. 16-minute job going 5.5 miles. Then had another XL, which was Skelmersdale, so it's kind of like the outskirts of Southport and the outskirts of Ormskirk, going to Birkdale, which is in Southport. That was 12:36, 10-minute job going 3.8 miles. And then that took me to, that was like the hour then. So that hour wasn't too bad. It was like 10, 20, 35, 36, it was about £38 for that first hour. But just goes to show, if you're getting like XL jobs back to back, it quickly stacks up. And then I had a little £5.54. It was a 4-minute job going 1.4 miles. And then I had another XL job, which was of the family that I had taken from not far away, which was Bearsco. When I went out earlier on, I took them to Southport, so I ended up bringing them back. It's the same family. It was quite funny. So that was £20.77. 17-minute job going 7.3 miles. So that pretty much got me back to Bearsco, and then I logged off. So in the last hour, it was just them 2 jobs. That was about £27. So yeah, just coming on for them 2 hours wasn't too bad, because like I said, it was what, 10, 20, 30, 5, 40, 50. I'm going to work this out properly, because otherwise I'm just making it up. 10, 20, 30, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's 38, 38, 58, 60, it was about 63, something like that for them 2 hours. So it's what, like £31.50 an hour. So yeah, them 2 hours were quite busy. But yeah, overall, obviously the day's been a little bit crap, but I wanted to come back because it's just coming up to 10 o'clock now. I need to have something to eat, put the car on charge, and then I need to be up and out for about 4:30 for me private booking. So yeah, basically I finished on 133.88. I've done 6.5 hours. So 130, was it 133? Yeah. Divided by 6.5. So it works out at about £21.60 an hour. So the hourly rating had gone up, but that's obviously purely down to the last 2 hours basically. Just pottering about. But yeah, I mainly went out because I wanted to try that app. Yeah, it's a little bit more trial and error. I think I need to play with it a bit more. It wasn't like rejecting any jobs for some reason. The jobs were just still coming up because you can go to like the rejected list, but there's none in there. I don't know why. Because there was plenty of jobs coming through, and there was jobs that shouldn't have been coming through, but I don't know. But yeah, it looks like it's a half decent app. I reached out to Kevin again, Rideshare Buddy UK, and asked him what kind of settings he had to save me spending hours messing about with it. But I'd already set off at that point, but he did get back to me, so when I get some chance I might come out next week, do a little bit of an Uber shift, just basically to test that app, to see what it's like. I think it was a bit too manic now, because obviously it was a Saturday, so there was like loads of jobs coming through. I had the 2 apps on the go. I'm trying to look at it thinking like what the hell's supposed to be going on. I think I need to watch some more like YouTube videos on how it works and whatnot. But yeah, all in all, that was about it really. That first group of women I picked up, it was in like some little remote pub in the middle of nowhere, and it's kind of like the first indirect kind of complaint I've had about my automatic air freshener that I have in the back, which everybody else loves. So it was like 3 older women and like a younger woman. They've been out for drink. They were all like half canned. So anyway, the air freshener goes off. It's like a little airwick thing. But I heard one of them say, "Oh, what's that smell? Oh, it stinks." Just before I got there, the farmers are all out, all fertilising the fields, and it absolutely reeked of shite. And I thought, I hope some of that isn't lingering in the back and she thinks it's me. But I thought, no, it's not. And then she turned around and the younger one said, "Oh, it's a nice smell, I like that." And she went, "Oh no, it's all chemicals, all that." She said, it's not a real scent. So I thought, oh, she's talking about the air freshener. So I went, all right. So I'm sitting there thinking, it's all chemicals, because she was saying like, it's all chemicals, it's not good for you and all that. So I said, how many chemicals do you think's in all them bottles of wine you've just been sinking for the past couple of hours? And she just glared at me, and the other 3 all started laughing their heads off. And I'm thinking, imagine getting in and kicking off over like an air freshener, but you've been necking God knows what. Think of all the crap and the chemicals and all sorts that's in all that, and you're moaning about an air freshener. You can't win. Thing is, if she would have got in and it stunk of like sweaty bollocks and feet and sick and kebabs and everything, she'd be moaning about that. If she gets in and it's nice and fresh and she wants to moan about that, honest to God. What else was there? I went on the Uber app before to do like my payout, because I haven't done that for about a week, I think. Is it still there at the top? Yeah, it still says at the top, your bank account cannot be used, verify details. So I clicked on it, but then it just takes you to like a generic page saying what type of documentation they like. Nobody's asked me to upload any sort of documentation. And then I just click cashed out, and it just cashed out. But the error message is still at the top saying your bank account cannot be used. So this is the bank account that I've used for, like 10 months since I joined Uber. But now all of a sudden, they've decided to say, oh, your bank account can't be used, in conjunction with stealing money off me today, in conjunction with saying that I was speeding. It just seems to be someone in the Uber head office is just like tapping on the keyboard like that. Let's fuck Paul's account up. Let's do it good and proper. So I don't know what's going on there, but I just ignored it. I can't be arsed until they actually send me a direct message saying, please supply X, Y, and Z. I don't care. I'm just gonna ignore it. So yeah, that's about it. I certainly won't be coming out doing any Ubering anytime soon. So yeah, unless I'm really bored and I want to come out and do some of that mystro during the week, it's probably going to be Maybe next weekend. I don't even know, to be honest, because it depends what private jobs I've got. Like I was just looking at Saturday then. There's already bookings in for next Saturday. So yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know when I'll be out again, because it's kind of losing the will, as you've probably gathered by this video, of doing shifts for Uber, because they're just so crap. But yeah, thanks for watching anyway. Any sort of questions, feel free to pop it below, and I'll get back to you.